Okay guys, this is Flavored and you're here with me on the daily PvP stream where we enjoy watching all kinds of competitive gaming, and for tonight it will be Star Wars The Old Republic ranked matches with the team. Hey, I am MVP from the Bastion server, Americans, so love them, welcome them. Perhaps some of you already know this team from the games I casted in the past. Well, actually, it's not entirely Hey, I'm MVP. Some people from outside the guild are invited in the current ranked group. Perhaps friends, family, wives and children. They gotta get their chance to show off as well. And here we go, the cube pop, and it's ancient Hypergate. Let me hop into the game. There we go. Well, the current setup of the team is kind of interesting. Some of you might call it troll, but personally I see no problem with it. Currently there are 3 healers, 2 tanks and only 3 DPS. Not entirely orthodox setup you would see people doing ranked with. But come on, I personally don't see anything wrong with it, and it's like a breath of fresh air compared to the standard play people have been doing for days and months. I welcome it with both hands, with both arms, with a bear hug. That's how I welcome it. Well, what do we have here? I think we have a smasher. It's Gudar's. You can see Kikaleki's current setup as we see hybrid. Wait a second, he is respecing into a heal. Now, what does this mean right now? It's gonna be 4 healers on the ancient Hypergate. I'm listening to the TeamSpeak right now, and they're saying they're gonna do split attacks on the pylons all game long. And what the hell does this mean, people? What the hell does this mean? They're saying that obviously with the 4 and even 3 DPS they will not be able to win. They will not be able to win the battle for middle. Well, and this seems logical, of course, because the other team will probably have the most basic setup. With 4 DPS, 2 tanks, as people like to play on the Bastion. And what the hell is this? 2 left, 2 west, 6 people east, using infiltrate from Sharkin, I guess, right? Yeah, Sharkin is an operative heal. They use an infiltrate, and there we go. They've gone for the east pylon as 6 people. 3 of them are healers, I suppose, and well, of course, there is no expectation to wipe the enemy team out, but will their sustain be enough to keep them alive? Who are the opponents? I cannot clearly see just yet, but it seems it's Don't Panic, a guild rather unknown to me actually. I have not seen that many games from them. But judging from what people told me on Reddit, they are competitive and have some good players. It seems like Hey, I'm MVP managed to capture the west pylon, but they do not have enough people to perhaps sustain it. So Kikaleki is going west to help. Yeah, there are 3 people from Don't Panic here as well. It seems like they've quickly decided to split push simply because they noticed how many of the Hey, I am MVP's players were east. So they swapped around a little bit. I can see there's Gigiti gone, who is an assassin tank perhaps, as he's using kinetic ward on him. And the other player is a sentinel, perhaps a smasher, so it's a tank and a DPS here. There is a bubble, I suppose. Oh no, it's not a bubble sword. I thought it was a bubble sword, but then I noticed the icon and it's a sniper, a gunslinger coming in. So Don't Panic has at least 2 gunslingers, as there was one on the other side as well. Kikaleki going down, unfortunately. I'm not sure they will be able to support their pylon right now. But then again, they have only to hold out for 20 more seconds, and the first round will go in their favor. And as it seems that Don't Panic was really not prepared for this amount of healing. And even though they seem to have decent DPS right now, they just cannot out DPS through all these heals. Now, is it a viable meta game? You think is going for healers a viable meta game? We can see Majin, who's a hybrid. Unfortunately, I cannot see the amount of his HP to actually pass a judgment on whether he's a full tank or just a hybrid in DPS gear. But is this a viable team setup of going for heals just for the purposes of playing, not for the damage but for the control? Because, well, as you can see, ancient Hypergates do not necessarily involve damage. One of the Don't Panic's assassins, oh no, it was a sentinel, tries to sneak in to prevent a cap but is unable to, unfortunately. I don't really think... Did Don't Panic think, hey, I'm MVP, will stop this split after they actually won the first round? But no, as we can see, it's still 3-5. Unfortunately, Don't Panic was really not prepared for this kind of strategy. And personally, guys, I am having fun seeing this. For once, it's really amazing to see teams to somewhat get away from the standard team setups they do with 4 or 5 DPS, 1 tank, lots of smash, lots of stun bubbles, and just play an original game. That's exactly what is happening. Kikaleki, perhaps his teammates are requesting help on the east side and he's moving. And well, basically, it's not a bad decision simply because there was like one Don't Panic player left on the west side and there was enough of a defense there. So he's going to provide additional healing. They need as much sustain as they possibly can get right now on the east side, simply because they need to prevent these caps. As soon as the Don't Panic captures a pylon, simply because hey, I am MVP cannot wipe them out no matter what. All they have is a healing and like 2 DPS right now. Scope 7. And 2 DPS right now. As if Don't Panic gets pylon, they can quickly shorten the gap, if not close it completely, by bringing the pylons. No, not the pylons, of course, the orb from the middle, But so far as we can see, Don't Panic doesn't have much of a chance of capping their own pylon. Unfortunately, even with the standard DPS setup, they cannot break the healing. Provided by all the healers on the Hey, I'm MVP's team. You can see Kikaleki going in the middle to just run perhaps west. Yeah, he's standing closer to the west, and as soon as the pylons reset, they're not going into the middle, and there's a good reason for that. If they're stuck in a long fight, there is simply because they lack DPS, they can get controlled in the middle. If they go into the middle, then capturing pylons would become, or preventing, would become extremely difficult. So they are not doing that, and that's a very smart move, guys. That's a very smart move. Okay, Kikaleki and Ryer are going west. A good usage of overload. Yeah, they're capping against. That's the third round, and they're able to cap their pylon, well, almost without any pressure on them. We can see that Don't Panic is trying to, but they're unable to do it fast and effective as they would wanted it to. I'm not entirely sure where do the Don't Panic guys drop down from. Do they come from their spawn point? Do they come from mid? But it seems like it feels like, hey, MVP has more time. Don't Panic should really somehow change their approach to the game right now, because if it keeps going like this, well, they will simply keep capping their pylon. Hey, MVP will keep capping their pylon, while Don't Panic will get completely denied. Seriously, watching this makes me want to go and try this rank combo myself. Of course, I don't feel it will be viable somewhere with a lot of landscape difficulties, like like for example Civil War or Void Star, at least. There you need DPS, but here you can just fight it out with CC and a lot of sustain, and that's what AI MVP has been doing so far. They've got good grip on their own side. Effective CC usage allows them to cap their pylon. Even though they have no stuff like Combat Pred or Carnage Pred or anything like this, they have only 4 speed to rely on and the overload of the Sage, which roots in place. It seems like Don't Panic has decided to try and apply some pressure to the west side, controlled by the AI MVP, but Scope 7 went down, but it doesn't feel like they have the output enough. Like 5 seconds left, and it's another round going in favor of AI MVP. Will Don't Panic be trying to swap their tactics around with perhaps shuffle and split? I don't know. Gotta see. Right now, the game is convincingly in favor of AI MVP. I really would like to see Don't Panic turning it around, because right now there is a lot of arguing about team setups and the PvP in general. Like, you cannot beat Smash, you cannot beat Stun Bubble. You should always go for as much DPS as possible, but there we go. AI MVP is proving everyone wrong, that unorthodox setups of healers is very viable, and they're not losing, at least not this ancient Hypergate. Alright, it seems Don't Panic decided to shuffle their players and apply even more pressure to the west pylon, but it's just turning, it just gets mirrored. You see, the same thing that was happening all the game up to this point in the east location had just moved to the west. Rooks is a Don't Panic's tank, who's this antipode is a Smash Sentinel, I suppose. Yep, he's a Smash Sentinel. Who else do we have on this side? Come on, turn around, I wanna see other Don't Panic's players, but anyway, what's there to say? Even though with all their DPS, Don't Panic just cannot drive so much healing back, and I should really credit the MVP's healers. They are doing a great job sustaining each other. They're not crumbling under any pressure, even though I can see that Don't Panic tries to focus them down and target switch around, but they are just unable to output enough pressure. Or maybe they can output enough pressure, but MVP's healers are just so good. But what's going on? Wait, Don't Panic is trying to capture their pylon, and will this turn into a stalemate situation? Like, I don't know. This round, it's the 4th round of this Hypergate, and nobody is able to capture the point. They're trying to take Kikaleki down, but Sharkin is hiding a little bit to maybe perhaps well, 20 seconds left in this round, guys. 20 seconds and no pylons captured. This is turning out to be a crazy goddamn game. I don't know what to say. This is very weird. 4 healers, 2 tanks, 2 DPS against at least 4 DPS, 2 tanks, and 2 healers, and this is pretty much an even game. Even though I'm pretty sure the damage numbers will, well, not pretty sure, I'm just sure the damage numbers will be in favor of Don't Panic greatly. But come on, all their damage just gets out-healed immediately. I'm having fun watching this. This is so unexpected. And as usual, as you see, Kikaleki is he's not going mid there, not even trying. Mid is forgotten in this game. Not a single orb has been harvested this game. Orbs are left alone to grow and prosper. Okay, what do we see in this time? Don't Panic manages to reach the pylon first, but they do not have the CC, and besides, Ryer is always in stealth, so they cannot. Actually, now that I think about it, does Don't Panic lack any stealth to like pull out some tricky moves? It doesn't feel like the compositions they choose to split are viable to actually to prevent prevent MVPs. Just for short, I'm gonna call them MVPs, but of course it's assumed that their name is Hey I'm MVP, simply because pronouncing this is a little bit of a pain all the time. But it doesn't feel like Don't Panic chooses the right combo to go and interrupt or cap. Or perhaps it's the work with the CC, because right now obviously they should have realized that killing MVPs is not an option. They can take one or maybe two down, but still the remaining players are still able to draw it out for long enough for the dead party members to return into the fray. So personally, I feel that Don't Panic should have realized that they are unable to draw this battle into their favor like this. They should fight it out with the CC instead of try to drive MVPs into the same spot and control them all. But at the same time, perhaps MVPs are just not falling for such a trap. As you can see, they're pretty much spread out. Healers are trying to stay away from the remaining party members, while tank and the DPS are fighting it out, preventing the caps. Well, yet another round, and ooh, I've actually haven't missed it, but I was so absorbed into the thought that I am talking about it only now. It seems that at the east there happened a clever CC play. The Don't Panic wasn't wiped out, but they got MVP put out just enough control to grab the point, and that's like what is it, round 5? And at round 5 it's still 384 points to 0. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sure, is there some kind of round limit or tiebreaker mechanic? I've never had a Hypergate last that long in my life, and I'm not even sure how is it Rooks engages on Kikaleka to prevent a cap this time. Well, to the Don't Panic's credit, they're doing a much better job at splitting up right now and preventing the caps, unlike what happened in the first 3 rounds. Damn it. This is getting seriously funny. Fun to watch. It's been fun to watch the entire time, but I don't know. I would love to hear someone else's input on what exactly Don't Panic could have done different here. Do they like DPS? Doesn't seem so. They even with the strong MVP's presence. And it's not even fair to actually, now that I think about it, it's not fair to call this team MVPs. There are people from Strictly Business here, from outside the guild, well, but I don't know, since it's, hey, I'm MVP's players are dominant in this group, I suppose I'll just call them this, but it's already too late, it's half the game. I assume it's half the game, because right now it's, again, both pylons are in no one's hands. This is just ridiculous, guys. And anyway, I'd love to hear someone else's input on what could Don't Panic could have done different here. They're focusing down healers, as you can see, they're sitting, but they just cannot take anyone down. Too much healing. Yes, MVPs aren't killing anyone, but as you guys know, in most of the cases, outputting a crap ton of damage is just not the point. And it is not necessary to win. They're sustaining. They're great at sustaining right now, and they're great at controlling, and that allowed them to gain a huge advantage, which Don't Panic just cannot close in any way. I'm pretty much sure that if there is any kind of tiebreaker mechanic, this game is already won by MVPs, because they have a huge advantage, and Don't Panic is just nowhere near of closing it. Okay, it's another round over now, and just look at this. No pylons have been capped again, but does it matter? No, because the advantage is hugely in favor of hey, I'm MVP's team. Okay, which round is it? I've lost count. 7th, 8th. I'm entirely not sure. Okay, they're engaging 4 people left, 4 people right. Will it be yet another round of stalemate round? I just want to watch them fight it out, guys. What is happening? Engaging and Kikalek is dropping, but come on, 5k force man. They're capping the pylon now, and what? That's a little bit of an anticlimactic end. Whatever, let's look at the stats. 4 healers with Scope 7 being the absolute MVP in healing right now. Majin was Sin tank, Ryer was Sin hybrid, perhaps in DPS gear, I suppose. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I would definitely love to hear some input about this game from the viewers. It was you could see from the numbers that Don't Panic didn't lack damage. They really didn't lack damage, but the healing was so much stronger. Even with all the focus. Anyway, as I always say, clever play is much more important than overpowered smashes, stun bubbles. Doesn't matter. Even though, of course, Don't Panic had Smash Bubbler and had smashes, but come on, it was all out-healed easily. Whoever says that Smash is overpowered, well, check out this game. Just some swap, perhaps out of joke. Some swap in a team lineup just quite easily defeated Smashers and stun bubbles. Well, at least on the ancient Hypergate. Of course, it would play out differently on other war zones. But this game was just magnificent, guys. It was magnificent. Not only we were able to see a different setup from what the people usually play, but that setup actually won, and won with a devastating advantage. Anyway, it was flavored. Make sure to follow Moon Unit, which we've been following all this time. He was our POV at twitch.tv/moonunit44. moonunit44. And follow me at twitch.tv/dailypvp to stay updated on the content I roll out. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, both at /dailypvp. Of course, everything is posted to my YouTube at youtube.com/dailypvp, and have a great day, night, morning, or whatever time of the day you have right now. Cheers, I'll see you in the next awesome ranked games.